Hey everyone, it's Wandalyn, and I'm just popping in to uh, give you a little bit of background on my cancer diagnosis. And um, I had reservations about telling my story about ovarian cancer. I have stage 3 ovarian cancer, which spread to the bowel, and now I have a colostomy bag, which will be reversible. However, my diagnosis came October 4th, 2003. Before that, I had some pretty painful experiences. Um, and one of my coworkers, which I will leave unnamed, um, took me to the emergency room, and they pretty much figured that I had cancer there. But they didn't want me to worry, so they said, "Don't worry, don't worry about it. It's only a picture of it. You'll know the diagnosis when you get the biopsy." But because they called the oncologist out of bed at 12 o'clock at night, told me the story. Since being diagnosed, I've had a pretty rough go. Had my surgery on October 4th, 2023. I got out of surgery and was in my bed. They taught me how to use my colostomy, or how to, you know, clean it out, change it, etc. And all of this was pretty overwhelming. They didn't tell me I had stage 3 ovarian until a month or so later, because they had to do tests and things like that. So I was in the hospital for 6 days for the first time, and I went home. And once I got home, it was a couple of days, and I was back in the hospital with a bowel blockage. That's a complication that comes along with that surgery. Once I got out of the hospital, I was back in with another bowel blockage. I was back and forth with a bowel blockage 3 times. I ended up being in the hospital for 3 months and on an NG tube, and very painful bowel blockages. It wasn't a fun experience, but I got through it. And once I got home, I regularly take my temperature to make sure that everything's okay. So after that, I did a pretty good stretch at home, probably about a month. And then I got a complication with the chemotherapy, and now they're going to have to bring it back to what I was taking the first 2 rounds. The third round was too much chemotherapy, so I ended up having a really low white blood count. And I also caught COVID at the same time, so they ended up giving me antivirals for because I'm a high-risk patient with a very low immune system. All the doctors in cancer care are fantastic. The surgery went very well. There was no visible signs of cancer after the surgery, which is a positive step in the right direction. There's a lot of things that go along with ovarian cancer chemotherapy, one of which is being neuropathy, and you get tingling and numbness in your fingertips and in your feet. I'm really grateful for the friends that have stepped up to help me. They're really being very supportive, and I wouldn't be here right now without them, because the cost of living is so high, and I have one income, and it's been now slashed to almost nothing, 55% of wages, and then my unemployment insurance runs out in March. So I have some really helpful friends that are helping me out. Well, I was going to get the chemo today, and Unfortunately, it snowed the last 3 days. So I had to reschedule that because I couldn't get out onto the road I was underground, and it hadn't been it hadn't been plowed until just now. And I'm going to be going in for DNA testing to see if I have the BCRA1 or 2. And if so, they're going to decide what kind of chemo pills to give me. 6 months after chemotherapy, I'll be healed from chemo. However, I have to wait a year before my bowel surgery, the reversal surgery, is going to happen. Being alone and dealing with cancer on your own is very hard and very stressful. I'm glad that I have friends that will support me, but I'm alone most of the time, and it's a very emotional experience. So yeah, it's been ups and downs, and on top of that, having a colostomy bag is something else to cope with and deal with. So I'm hoping things seem to be going in the right direction. My first chemo session, the C125, which is the California 125 protein marker for ovarian cancer, it was at 6,000, and my first treatment, it went from 6,000 down to 65. My second treatment, it went from 65 down to 16, which is normal range. And then this time when I went to see the oncologist, it was still at 16, which is normal. So everything is going in the right direction. And as you can notice by the bags under my eyes, I'm having difficulty sleeping and difficulty in keeping up my good nutrition, as my diet is low residue, and there's there's a lot of things I can't eat because I don't want another bowel obstruction. So I know that I'm hoping that my chemo session isn't this week sometime. And I just want to thank everyone who's taken the time to listen to this, and I probably will have another update rather soon. And I hope everyone likes, shares, subscribes, and everybody take care. I'm going to stay positive and keep fighting the good fight. Miss Warrior, don't you know? And talk to you really soon. Bye.